are 5.5 Tailwind CSS tools that I'm using on a weekly or even a daily basis at this point. For number one, we have this website called uicolors.app. If you've ever wanted to add your own color palettes for Tailwind CSS, this is essentially what this tool does. You'll know that Tailwind has this standard of different hues or shades for a color being through like 50 and 950. So I could come in here with whatever my brand color is, pretend it's like maybe this green or no, that's ugly, maybe this color. And I can actually preview what this color palette looks like in actual components. And then if I want to add this, all I have to do is click export, click Tailwind, and then I can just grab this, copy it, and drop it in my Tailwind config. Number two is a Chrome extension called Tailscan. It's tailscan.com. And Tailscan is essentially like an inspector for your Tailwind. You could go on somebody else's website using Tailwind and like see how they're actually building stuff. It's super, super helpful for whenever you're actually building your own things. So for instance, here's this component that I'm working on for Hover. And instead of just going back and forth from my code, what I could do is just click the little Tailscan thing, click on some component I want to play with, and then just come in here and say, oh, let's actually see what this looks like at 5XL, maybe font, bold, something like that. And it just makes the process, probably 50% faster. This is a paid tool, but for somebody like me who's writing Tailwind, a couple of hours a day, the amount of time it saves is totally worth it. Number three is hypercolor.dev. So this one's essentially just a collection of nice UI gradients that you can just copy and drop into your code. If we find one that we like, maybe like the Sierra Mist one, I can come in here and just see what this looks like with different variations of gradients. And then I can just click on this little Tailwind button and it'll copy it to my clipboard. And then over in my code, I can just go ahead and drop that in and it will, use the gradient on whatever element. Now for number 3.5, I'm giving this a 3.5 because this is my own website, but hover.dev is a website that I've been working on for the last 2 months. Hover is a collection of animated UI components for React and Tailwind and primarily Framer Motion. If you've been watching my videos for at least the last couple of months, you'll notice in here there's a handful of components that I built here, which the code will be free for on here. You can literally just come in, click code, and then copy these components and then put them in your projects. There are also paid components, like one that a lot of people have been liking is this kind of fancy dark mode toggle thing, different hero sections, stuff like that. And if you actually do want to unlock everything besides just the free stuff, it's one time, $27, no subscriptions or anything, and helps support me as well as hopefully helps teach you something and make your projects nicer. Anyways, enough of promoting myself. On to number 4, or I guess 4.5 by the way that I'm counting right now. We'll just go with 4. But for number 4 is the Prettier plugin for Tailwind CSS. It's literally just called Prettier plugin Tailwind CSS. And what this will do is reorder your class names into something that actually makes sense. So you'll know if you write any Tailwind CSS that after a while you get these really, really long lines and you have to go through and try and figure out where the different class names are. But all that you need to do is set up Prettier for your project and then install the Prettier plugin Tailwind CSS plugin. And then for example, like let's take this line that I have right here. Pretend I had some margin bottom at the beginning or whatever, and then I added some other margin at the end. These are separated. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to be separated. So whenever I save this now, it's actually going to reformat it and put them all together. And then finally for number 5 or 5.5 or however I'm actually counting is Daisy UI. So anytime that I'm actually trying to just build something really, really quickly and I don't want to have to worry about building out my own design library, I'll generally reach for Daisy UI. So Daisy UI is a component